physicists are there? Oh god, this game is insane. How many physicists are there? Oh god, this game is insane. Have you ever wanted to have a chat with Einstein? Maybe while he's calmly strolling around in a pixel art world. Well, that's exactly what I created. A little game where you can talk to some of the greatest physicists in history. And they don't just answer randomly. They're intelligent agents that use artificial intelligence to truly replicate their personalities. In this video, I'll show you how everything works, from the code in Godot to the Python backend, and the graph that manages the conversation. Everything starts with Godot. I created this little pixel art world where the characters move around freely. But what makes them interesting is that you can interact with them. Each character is an independent agent. On the Godot side, when I interact with one of them, Einstein, for example, game, prepares a request to send to an AI server. Here we're using an HTTP request to send a message to the APIs with some key information. The character's identity, the user's question, and the style of the response. For Einstein, I chose a reflective and curious style, with simple language but capable of explaining complex concepts. For Newton, on the other hand, it will be more rigorous. And Tesla? Well, Tesla tends to ramble a bit. Moreover, the system manages conversations smoothly. The game pauses while waiting for the response and then displays it directly in the dialogue. All of this happens asynchronously, so it doesn't block the gameplay. The great thing is, every interaction generates a dynamic request based on the player's input. No two responses are ever the same. Okay, but who is actually answering behind the scenes? This is where the heart of the project comes in. A Python backend based on FastAPI and LangGraph. When the game sends a request, the backend receives the message and passes it to a conversation graph. This graph is built with LangGraph and contains two fundamental nodes. One to generate the response and one to update the character's memory. The response is generated by a local LLM model via Oyama. In this case, I use Qwen 2.5 with 7 billion parameters and the low temperature to maintain the character's consistency. And that's not all. Each character has a separate memory for each session. This prevents Newton from starting to talk like Tesla or Einstein from remembering things he said in another game. For each session character pair, I save a small history of the latest exchanges, and then generate a dynamic summary to compress the memory and limit token usage. Basically, every time you talk to Einstein, he keeps in mind what you've told him, but in a compact form, like the user asks to explain relativity. Einstein replies with an example about the train. Yes, even AIs need to take notes. One of the most fun aspects of this project is giving the characters a real personality. I didn't want Einstein to seem like just any chatbot. I wanted him to truly be Einstein, so I created custom prompts for each physicist. The prompt starts with clear instructions. You are Einstein, and you will always remain Einstein. If the user asks, "Who are you?" he must answer only Einstein without hesitation, without saying, "I am an AI assistant." Then I add the style, for example, reflective and curious. Simple language for complex concepts. This serves to adjust the tone of the responses so that they are consistent with the character, but also understandable for the player. Finally, the prompt includes a brief summary of the conversation up to that point and the user's question. The AI generates a response in no more than 80 words. Brief, clear, and in the language set in the prompt. This approach makes it easy to change the style of each character. I can make it more philosophical, more technical, more ironic, or even a bit strange if needed. This project is still a prototype, but I hope it made you smile and maybe even piqued your curiosity a little. For me, it was a fun experiment to combine coding, AI, video games, and the history of science. I would like to expand this world with more characters, new interactions, and maybe even have them talk to each other. What would come out of a conversation between Tesla and Newton? Probably some electrifying disagreements. If you have any strange questions to ask Einstein, Newton, or Tesla, write them in the comments, maybe I'll include them in the game. Did you enjoy this mix of beats and bosons? Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and remember, reality is complete, but pixels make it more fun.